There's evil in the air. My mother doesn't want me travelling today. The devil is a roaming lion, she says. He's in the atmosphere. The papers have extolled so much bad news. Listen to this. They can't fit it all between the pages. The sword and the famine and the wild beasts and the plagues, they are bleeding into the margins and thundering out a warning. The four riders have been summoned. No wonder everyone's scared shitless to leave the house. According to the Fourth Estate, evil is crouching outside every open doorway. And if the end time is going to happen anytime soon, it'll likely be in our heathen capital. They kill tourists in London, you know. You, my blue-eyed son, this is my fretting mother again. You are 61 years old and you are a limping antelope on the edges of a fast-moving herd. If you have to go to London, if you really have to go, be careful. If the pale rider of Corona doesn't snatch the breath from your choking throat and the violent terrorist doesn't bomb you clean out of your trendy plimsolls, the immigrant fingersmith with his very sharp knife will carve you open and sell your vital organs as a delicacy on the dark web. What are you gonna do about the evil? I'm half walking, half crawling down the 6 crooked highways of Oxford Street. Peak hour, weaving through a dark forest of stalking tourists who have rampaged the globe in order to scavenge a souvenir. I swerve a dark preacher whose Bible is wounded by hatred. Somewhere, the wailing song of a failed poet is beaten out of a wearied guitar. A hard rain is gonna fall. As the last judgment of melancholy bounces around my suite, I see him. Through the crowds. Under freezing nails of driving rain, encamped in a shop doorway. A death shroud of rags. I see his bare feet first. Naked feet, no shoes in the middle of the richest shopping mile in the world. No socks. Toes caked in the dirt of a 10-year pestilence, a large matted beard that could trigger a public health warning. I am stopped. My heart aches. Compassion. Unsolicited. And I already know that I can't walk past this man. I cannot. I feel ashamed to be overdressed and overfed while this man, any man, is freezing and starving on any street in any capital in my country. I look at the time. 10 minutes to get to a meeting that is now 15 minutes adrift. And I don't have the time or the coin or the appetite to robe a stranger in fine garments or sauce him with enough fast food to beat away a slow death. I'm acknowledging the impossibility of my situation at the same time as my wandering boot heels walk me into a large clothing store 5 stories high and a country mile in the wrong direction. I am late and the anxiety is a plague fire. Time is battering me. Before I know it, I'm in the longest queue in the world, with a pair of new shoes, with a hoodie, with a woolly hat and thermal socks that I don't have the paper for, that I don't have the time for. All I do have is a jury of 16 magic numbers who each testified that death on the plastic is preferable to death on the pavement. You can't feed every hungry mouth in London. There's a man starving to death in the middle of 20 food outlets. A stranger's life is not your concern. Any man's death diminishes me. The queue to pay is 100 miles long and it's not moving, and there are not enough checkouts, and for one split second everything feels useless, and my humanitarian urgency and naive folly, and I nearly ditch the purchase, and I very nearly run from the store, and I almost race to my meeting. Apologies rehearsed, but I know that despite my first world cowardice, I am involved in mankind. I am involved. I cannot ignore that. My conscience gains the winning hold and secures a tight strangle, and my mind taps a defeated submission and quiets to a still, and I think, fuck the meeting. And I breathe for the first time today. And the queue starts to shift, and tills mysteriously open, and suddenly I'm moving swift, Hermes in winged sandals down a Christian high street, the Magi bearing gifts for a throne, who smiles at me beatifically, not like he's grateful, more like he's been expecting me. What's your name, I ask. Evil. Evil? He nods. My name is Evil. My mum jumps immediately to mind. What are you going to do about the evil? I'm going to overcome evil with good, Mum. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dress it and feed it and robe it in the armour of the good. I leave your man in his shop doorway abode with his new vestment and enough hard cash to buy a hot meal, and I pass unharmed and unhindered and unnoticed through the filling rivers of happy shoppers, through the shining brass of Christmas sparkle, through spice and myrrh, the sweet odour of sanctity. And if I make my meeting late, it is not noticed. And if my client is aggrieved, it is not mentioned. And whether I win the contract or not, it is of little importance. I came to London expecting to find evil in the air, only to discover instead an angel crouching outside an open doorway.